All right, we should be good to go now. What's up, guys? Making sure everything's fine. All right. Okay. Today, I don't want to go through the trouble of making a build, so I'll just use something simple. I've been pretty busy recently, so I'm just gonna like keep it simple. Probably go like 75. This. Yeah, like so. Probably something like that. Okay. And let's try to use this and then index in the offhand. I want to try that. And probably something like this. Just making sure. Alright. Yeah, that should be good. Let's go with that. Alright, let's do this. Yo, what's up, Leveled Rogue? How you doing, man? Might switch weapon also. Like, there's a few, like, I want to try, like, some of these variations, like, of, offhand hand axe and whatever main hand weapon I can think of. Like, maybe, like, offhand hand axe, main hand TS, or, you know, like, some wacky variations. Two players that probably dueling. Guess we're gonna start with a duel. What you doing, buddy? I didn't want to get parried there, actually. Latency was quite high, but the guy didn't really seem to be too experienced. But, you know, he still played at the proper arena, you know, like didn't pussy out. He just did his thing. Looks SA almost. Right now it's 9:30 p.m. for me, so I'm prime time in my own time zone, so right now, if anyone is latent, they're latent to me. I'm not, you know, like, it's their fault. You know, when I play at 2 a.m., if someone's latent, it's kind of my fault because, you know, playing outside of my time zone. But if you're playing at like 9:30 p.m., like, this is pretty much the time that you'd expect the game at, really. Yo, Odium, how you doing, man? But yeah, we might try, like, a few weapons in the main hand. There's a few things I'm curious about. I want to see, like, how good or how bad it is. It should be pretty laid back today. Oh. Yo, that was freaky. Okay, we're running now. We're going places. Impressive. He just randomly turned and then started mashing attack. He just didn't mix up anything. He just randomly turned and started mashing. That's interesting. There's still 2 more players in there, though. Oh! There he is, with the eel buff. Let's mimic that while we can. His friend might be hiding in bushes somewhere, too, so... gotta be careful about that. There he is. I was about to say, I thought there was a red for a second. There was a red. Kind of disengaged. That was weird. Are you ever gonna do a sleep charge old flame as suggested weeks ago? Yeah, I'll probably do that at some point. To be honest, like, I tried to, like, mix up the upload, so I wasn't gonna do the, you know, the sleep version of this thing. Like, you know, like I did the fate, or sorry, I did, let me start over. I did the sleep magic variation, you know, like the jungle hybrid, and then a few like other sleep variations and so on and so forth. And I did some fate builds along the way as well, so I didn't want to... I want to mix it up a little bit. Like, I want to mix up what I'm doing. So recently I did more like, you know, straight up like melee weapons that are more conventional, like Claymore's Zwyander. And today I was actually supposed to be doing more like spell stuff, but I'm a little too busy this week to like start to think too much about that. Like right after the stream, like I didn't know what I was gonna use today, and I don't have that much time, so I decided, you know what, let's just do like, let's keep the build I have now and try a bunch of different like offense setups. It's more like, you know, it's just me like managing like what I'm doing as I think makes more sense. It's really just about varying things. That's all there is. And, you know, going about like my own like restrictions from just, you know, having a life like all of us. I was waiting for me to come before full walling. All the content, do you play on the Ape Station? Yes. I'm a Switch 2 player now. I'll be a Switch 2 Elden Ring player. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna buy Elden Ring on Switch 2, but hopefully Duskblood network test is good. Hopefully. Yo, Kiminator, how you doing, man? Oh. Flank strike out of spawn. Sometimes you just get the spawn that are... This game's spawns are just so inconsistent. Sometimes you get those and other times you don't. And sometimes spawning there, like, depending on who you're fighting, sometimes it can be extremely dangerous, like spawning next to them. Let's say you're in the same spot, same invasion, but the two players you're fighting are very experienced. Now you basically have, like, you know, 5 seconds to kill one. Otherwise, you're pretty much guaranteed to die because you have nowhere to go. So it's very luck-based, really. You ever do PvP with viewers? Oh yeah, for sure. We do 2v2s here and there, but quite frankly, I used to duel with viewers a lot more back in Dark Souls 3 because I cared about the game. Like now, I'm just, you know, going about my day and just when I stream, it's to do my like quota of content in order to make the daily vids because I want to keep the channel alive. But I'm not really that interested in Elden Ring, so I don't really take that much time to do, let's say, extracurricular Elden Ring activities. But here and there we do like 2v2s with viewers. Are you going to do a full playthrough when Tarnished drop? I kind of want to. You know what I want to do, Mozzarella? I want to do a series where I make a PvP character with no duping, like nothing drop, and I want to do like one stream where I farm golem arrows for the entire stream. That's one of the plans. But you know, like when I get everything for PvP, but I will reload my save. Leveling up only from PvP? Well, not only from PvP, from whatever mean, except no like rune drop or anything like that. You know what I mean? Okay, you know what? Here, I'm not gonna use this because, like, clearly this gets hard countered by great shields. So what we're gonna do here, we could actually try that. Or, you know what, let's go tried and true. Do that. And then maybe this here. Maybe this here. Oh, okay. Elden Ring moment. I wanted the guy in front, or in the back. Yes. Bro, they did not even use their shield. Like, I thought this was going to be like one of those, like, drawn out, like, we can't kill them because they stick with each other type of deal, but these guys had everything except the experience. They had the proper setup, you know. They had the right armor. They didn't have the right stats, though. I thought this was going to be a much harder invasion, if I'm being totally honest. Performative fingerprint shield, decorative. Yes, that's accurate. You ever thought about using the cranial vessel in those stat? It has pretty good hype armor. Is that the... I forget which one it is. Maybe we already used it. I forgot which one that is. Yo Baldwin, how you doing, man? Playing with dagger and board, it's fun to play. It's very strong. Dagger and board is very strong for sure. He shoots fireball. Okay, yeah, that's the one I thought. You know, the one that goes with this armor, right? The fire prelate stuff. Yeah, I've played with that in the past. Like, usually a lot of the very niche weapons, we played with them. It's just that we don't play with them as often as, let's say, like, the amount of time I played with Freya, her greatsword, because Freya is just such a good weapon that, you know, you end up doing, like, 5 streams dedicated to Freya, whereas you do, like, 1 dedicated to the more, like, niche stuff. Be used as a gravity tool? I guess. I mean, the thing with a lot of these, like, niche weapons or niche spells or niche X or Y, it's that, you know, like, if you want something to do that purpose, you're gonna be like, well, you know, might as well make a gravitational missile build. Or if you use, like, X or Y melee, you'll be like, well, might as well do, like, I don't know, like a Pada build or something. Like, very often, whatever you're trying to do will get, like, overshadowed by another thing that's just better in every way. But, you know, just to mix it up, we still try, like, all the quirky stuff. It's just that we don't dedicate, like, multiple streams to them. Usually we explore it, you know, see what it's all about. If we can see, let's, you know, see if we can find a particular redeeming quality. And if not, then, you know, we go on about our day. But, like, sometimes we find, like, stuff that are interesting and that, you know, we didn't think X or Y would be good, and it ended up being super good. Like, for instance, Power Stance Crusher is, like, something I really started doing. Like, I didn't, like, it's not, like... Oh. Like, right now... Do this. I was not expecting the dueling shield. Luckily, though, my inventory is not all over the place because Freya is, like, part of my main inventory, and so is TS. I didn't have to stumble in the menu to equip it. But yeah, like, you know, like, for instance, this is a good showcase of, like, you know, you're trying to play with whatever. Like, right now we have Freya and a hand axe, and then someone with a dueling shield shows up. Like, if I try to fight this guy with my current setup, like, I get hard countered, and it's not even funny how hard countered it gets. And so, fighting like that is pretty much pointless. And so you're basically forced to swap the moment the dueling shield appears. And that's true for a lot of setup. Let's say, like, you're using, I don't know, think of, like, any weapon. Let's say you're using, let's say I'm just using two-handed hand axe, and someone shows up and has light roll. It's like, it doesn't really matter how much I will play them, they're gonna be able to panic roll everything. And so I'm gonna be forced to eventually switch to Pada. Alright, let's see. Oh. You know what? Let's drink our physic right now. How many players in there? There's another one. Did he DC right away? Bro! What the hell? What is this, dude? Man, these people are something. How did he do it that fast? Tied the internet port to the toe? Yeah, the old trick, dude. Clearly he was an expert. But yeah, like, you know, like, you guys know how it is. Like, you guys can play however you want, you know, can try to find whatever setup to have fun, but it's just the nature of the beast. Like, depending on what you're up against, if you want to have a fair chance at victory, and when I say fair, I mean, like, a chance to win, period. Like, if you're fighting multiple people and they all have great shields, and they all use it, because, you know, like, we had an invasion where 2 players had the fingerprint just earlier, and none of them used it, so that's a different story. But let's say you're fighting people and they all have great shields. You're, like, first of all, you're not in a fair fight. Like, you're 1 against 2 or 1 against 3, so already, like, you don't really have a fair fighting chance to start with. But now, if your setup gets hard countered by what they're using on top of that, then you really have, like, no chance, and the whole endeavor of trying to win that invasion is almost pointless unless you really have fun, like, struggling with whatever you're using. You know, like, to each his own. But really, like, you're gonna be sort of forced to swap a specific amount of setups that can deal with these shields. Like, we had that happen a few streams ago. Like, we were fighting 2 players that were not necessarily very good, but we could not dent them because they were sticking to each other and had shields, and eventually I swapped the site and the invasion was over in an instant, whereas the setup I was using was just not working whatsoever because it was not doing very well against 2 shields. And then the moment I swapped the site, well, I could just attack freely. The site had some, you know, hype armor, or some whatever hype armor that the site has, and then it was over in an instant. So none of that was really about skill. It was really purely about, you know, just it's not even about knowledge either, because we have that knowledge. You know, the game has been out for, like, what, 4 years? Like, we all know, like, a basic of, like, okay, like, if I'm up against this, I need to use this to have a fair chance, or if I want to hard counter this, like, I need to use that. Like, most people have at least an idea of what they should and shouldn't be using in certain situations, but we still use whatever we want anyway, just because we want to have fun with whatever, and it ends up, like, biting you in the ass. So at the end of the day, it's just a question of how much you're willing to concede, really. Ice Spear used to break shield was good. Yeah, honestly, like, Ice Spear going through shields was really, really a nice tool that was so far from broken, because you need to be point blank to use it. Quite frankly, I don't really know. Well, I mean, they probably nerfed it because they had no idea. Well, they have no idea. From Software has no idea about, like, how these games work, like, on a fundamental level, PvP wise. Like, they just don't. You can see it in situations like that. You know what? Against these guys, I think what I'll do is I'll change from doing a little bit, and I'll go more try hard here because it's a full squad. A full squad when we have no cover, no support. There you go. We have some PvE help. there's no point. Hit there. Let's actually go toward the camp up top. Won't have a chance to finish him. They're staying together like quite closely and in the open. Right now it doesn't really matter what we have and what we use, there's no opening. Sleep arrows. They're just like walking through them. Try to hit the guy in the back. Almost. Yeah, they're just sticking to each other. There's nothing we can do right now. They're sticking to each other, and the guy that spams range attacks is in the back. I'll try to get away, recraft some sleep bolts, like that. I think I crafted like 600. Yeah, good thing we swap setup, because quite frankly, this is one of those that warrants a more try-hard approach. And because we're in the open and they're sticking to each other, it doesn't actually matter what we use. There's no play right now. The only thing we could do is use Golem. The only thing. And Bone Bow, but the problem with Bone Bow is I don't want to give him any ideas. It's always the thing with Bone Bow. Because most of these guys usually have it. You can't use a Great Bow properly, so there's no need to worry there. But if you start Bone Bowing them and they Bone Bow you back, multiple people Bone Bowing at you is a problem. There you go, that's one down. That's why you use this setup, because it's quite nasty. There you go. Alright. I think we played that properly. And you know, that's the other thing about invasions, right? Like, doesn't matter, like, how inexperienced your opponent is. If they stick to each other like that, if you go in there, you could, you know, get lucky and beat them. And sometimes, you know, I just feel like pressing buttons, and so I just go in there and, you know, you take a gamble, like maybe you kill them, maybe you don't, but it's not the right play. Like, the right play, unfortunately, is the boring one. The right play is just to sit there, wait for them to just empty their tank of whatever attack they're spamming at you. Pepper them from a distance with whatever you have. And then once you get an opportunity where one guy slips up, then you take it, and ideally you'd want something that one-shots. Pretty much like what I just did there. So just peppering them from a distance, you know, one of them slips on a banana peel, we take our opportunity, we one-shot them, and then we move on to the next guy. I mean, it's not the most glamorous, definitely not the most exciting way to play, but it's the game. It is what it is. What if all the gankers use this setup? I mean, you're talking as if it makes a difference. Like, it doesn't actually matter what the gankers use. If you're fighting 3 people that have experience that want to kill you, there's nothing you can do anyway. Like, it doesn't even matter what they're using. Like, it really doesn't. Like, people that don't have a lot of experience or always have this false impression that, oh, what if the gankers use that? Like, gankers could all use great swords, and you wouldn't be able to do anything if they slightly know what they're doing. It's really that simple. Like, whether your ganker enemies are all using Pada, or all using TS, or all using Dragon Breath, or all using Hyper Armor weapons, like, honestly, it matters very little, because either way, you can't engage. Like, you just can't. You can't engage no matter how you look at it. Doesn't really matter what they have. If they stick to each other and they know what they're doing, you can't do anything. It's irrelevant what weapon they have. You don't have any opening either way. Yo, Goldmask, thank you so much for the gifted sub, man. Really appreciate that.
Hey!
It mainly matters where you are invading. Yeah, that's a very good point. Like, the location where you're at actually matters more than the weapons that your opponents are using. That's a very good point. Yeah, there are some places where it's a guaranteed stalemate if you play properly. Like, basically, like, you know, let's say you invade a Radon's Beach. You know, Radon's Beach, and you're fighting 3 people that knows what they're doing, or that don't know what they're doing. Like, your chances of winning, like, are so low that, quite frankly, whatever they're using is almost insignificant. And to be real with you guys, like, for the guy who mentioned, like, what if the gankers use the crossbow setup? Like, we already know, like, what's extremely hard to deal with in open space. Like, it's bone bow. Like, the moment you have a ganker with bone bow, you can't engage whatsoever. Like, forget about the crossbow. The crossbow is way easier to deal with than bone bow as the invader. It's like, you know, range spells, like Dragon Breath, or anything like that. Like, it's always harder to deal with. Especially given how I have, like, full Solitude armor right now. Full Solitude armor is amazing for sleep resistance. I mean, that's the reason why I'm using it. Because sleep is dangerous, but... I feel like he's gonna try... Nope, never mind. Bro, he missed his jump. I thought he was gonna try to mind game me and try to knock me off, but he didn't. Oh well. Also, yeah, the ladder stuff. Yeah, that's a very good point too. I mean, like you said, like whoever gets on top of the ladder, it's basically like the invasion is over. Whoever is on top of the ladder like won by default. If there's no way to get there, and if there's no way to attack at the top of the ladder, which quite frankly it's the case for a lot of ladders in different areas, then the invasion's already over. Like either you just sit there forever until the invasion's over, or you play first guy that gets tired wins, which, you know, as someone who's streaming and making content, I can't afford to do that, because that would be like way too boring. Just sit there and wait for the guy to come down. But, you know, you can actually do that. Like some people just run away, you know, like hide their characters in the world and just, you know, go make themselves a snack, and they just leave the console or the PC open. It's just, you know, they stay in the world with like nothing going on. Usually though, when people do that, the host catches onto it and they bring a blue in there, and the blue can see where the invader is, so they're able to remove the invader that way. But still, yo, Steel, how you doing, man? Remember that weirdo from YouTube that plays only level 1 and one-shots people? Well, I don't really remember him, but I have, like, I can guess what type of player you're talking about. The dude that has his entire channel dedicated to him, twinking the shit out of the game, roast spams comment section of yours as we speak, and demands a duel. He yaps about boss level guy that destroyed you and me as we speak, and make content out of him. Key human being. Bro. I mean, there's nothing to say to that. Like, bro, just send him green and forget. Yeah, green, go play with him. Dude. Alright, let me actually keep going. Green will tire him out. Alright, Steel, be my guest if you want to play with him. You know? Like, you know, I think, good for me, I've gotten to a point about these games where, like, legitimately, I don't give a single fuck anymore. Like, I really don't. Oh my god. That's just so unlucky. We missed our hit there. Like, see there, you know, I went in there, but technically the play is not to go down there, but I just went in there anyway, you know what I mean? Like, that's basically what we just talked about earlier. Like, a lot of the time the play is just to not engage if you want to have a good fighting chance. You can go in there, and I might win this. Like, if we redo this, I'm sure I would win more times than I would lose. But, you know, when you're stuck in a small room with no cover, you know, no distraction, no enemy to help you, nothing, you're just getting 2v1, and eventually a blender is likely to happen. It's interacting with mental patient is peak joy. I guess you could say I did my share of that back in Dark Souls 3. Like, I'm pretty numb to it right now. Like people that have single-digit IQs don't really faze me anymore. They're like stage hazards for me. 3 players. I tried to run to the side to avoid the moon veil. Didn't work, obviously. The Phantom is ignoring me. Oh, he's not. My God, bro. See, like, I don't know if I have the patience to deal with the light roll. I don't think I have. You know, like, we could sit there, try to roll catch the guy with the curved greatsword for, like, you know, a good 5 minutes or so. And we could take the risk of, like, you know, another blue spawning in, and then all of a sudden it's 3v1 again, and we might die because we took too long killing the host. Or we can just pata him right now, end it right now, you know? But yeah, still, like, you know, the whole, like, dealing with people that are crazy, literally, it makes for good content. There's no denying that. Like, people love that stuff back in Dark Souls 3, and I'm sure the people who care about Elden Ring also love whatever you're doing, you know, that's comparable to that right now. I'm not involved enough with Elden Ring to really care. I can't bring myself to. Like, I'm really in that mode where I just want Elden Ring to be over with. I just want to move on to the next thing. I want the next thing to come already. I'm not a big Elden Ring fan like some other guys are. Oh my God. Like, you know what? Yeah, I misspaced that greatly. Oh, my lord. Wow, that's a perfect backstab. Like, as perfect as it gets. This guy is unbackstabbable. Oh my God, bro. I think we're just gonna roll it. Okay, I think that's enough. Like, you know, guys, back in Dark Souls 3, like, I was passionate about Dark Souls 3. That's why I went, you know, that's why I went hard on it. Like, I really liked the game, and I took it more seriously, and, you know, got to a point where I could basically do anything in Dark Souls 3. You know, it's... You can do that in Elden Ring, but you cannot do it in Elden Ring to the same extent, because fight clubs are not a thing, because team invasions are not a thing. Fundamentally, the structure of Elden Ring is different and doesn't allow for the same type of dominance that you could have getting good at Dark Souls 3 versus getting good at Elden Ring. Basically, skills doesn't matter as much in this game. And it's a shame because the combat in this game has way more potential. But it is what it is. So, from my end, I prefer to focus on other stuff that are not necessarily gaming related at the moment. Kind of pointless to grind Elden Ring in terms of skill. Yeah, pretty much. But, you know, the reason why I'm still playing is I don't want my channel to go to waste. Like, I want my channel to still be there and active and alive and well whenever the next thing comes along. Because when the next thing comes along, you never know. Maybe it's going to be great. When the next thing comes along, whether it's Duskblood, you know, whether it's the next From Software game, whether it's the Elder Scrolls 6, who knows, or maybe it's a game from another studio entirely. Like, no matter what it is, when the next thing comes along, because there's always the next thing, guys. There's always the next thing. Whenever that happens, I want my channel to be locked and loaded, ready to jump on the occasion. I don't want to let it go to waste. Giant. You can see it behind me. Oh, I swear I thought I landed that. Latency is quite high, man. It's kind of crazy. Sometimes, like, I'll stream at 2 a.m. and the lat is pretty decent. And then, like, right now, I'll be streaming at, like, you know, like 9:30, like prime NA time. And then the connections are like that. Alright, you know what? I don't have a lot of patience right now. It no longer makes as much sense as to, like, when it's latent. Yeah, pretty much. Like, last stream that we did, like, during the night, like, you know, the connections were actually pretty decent for the most part. Auto dedicated vid incoming? I know, right? Like, I'm gonna end up using that the whole stream. You know, if it was just for me, though, I think I would be playing Pada, like, most of the time nowadays. If it was just for me, like, I'd invade with Pada mostly. Because I feel like Pada is probably, like... Starting to think Pada is probably the best invasion weapon right now. Like, all things considered, like, all factors considered, I feel like Pada is the strongest invasion weapon. Obviously, you know, I'm sure you could find situations where, let's say, I don't know, Dual Crusher is better, maybe. Or maybe some situation, let's say you're fighting a dueling shield, maybe you're better off with Clean Rot. But a dedicated Pada build, with Barbaric Roar especially, it's hard to beat, like, as far as, like, effective setup. Like, you can two-shot people with that. It roll catches, like, super easily, infinite pressure, dumb hyper armor with the Roar. Pretty hard to beat. It's very up there. And it's true for duels too. Like, obviously Pada is very strong in duels too, so even when you get to the 1v1 phase against someone that's good, let's say you're fighting a gank and you're fighting someone that's good, you know, once in a blue moon, then, you know, you're getting to that 1v1 and you don't have, like, you know, like any wacky setup. You have Pada in your hand, like, you know, like there's very little that can counter you. Guys, you know, I usually don't like to give, like, people like that attention, but what I can say is it never ends up being worth it when you make a name for yourself out of, like, you know, putting down others, especially for no good reason. Usually never ends up being a very good endeavor. You know, you can have a journey and have, like, mishaps or whatever, but I don't think that's a very good course of action. What's the best course of action against Pada? Lane rot. Dueling Shield is pretty good against Pada too, to be fair. Like, Dueling Shield is very, very strong. In general, obviously, it just counters like 90% of the game, but classic, guys. Classic, classic. I did it too early. Alright, let's do this. Let's do this. This here. Not what I wanted. God damn it. He choked there. We could have killed this guy. We saved him. Story of Gankers, outplayed and saved. Dark moment. think we're gonna try something here. Done. Man, I missed that font. Right on the forehead. These guys are such pussies. Let's move here. Oh, I got healed by the PvE. That's kind of nice. One shit player down. My god, I wasn't paying attention. I didn't see that he was still up. I just fucking respawned. It was like right there. Well, I guess that baited him to come though. Probably for the best. Let's rebuff. It's 2v1 back again. some more PvE here. Let's try these. And dog shit goes down. Eat this, you filthy scrub. All right. Let's recraft as well. How many players? 3 players. I like this map if it wasn't so empty though. There's not much PvE to help you here. I heard a guard break. Luckily, the game just grabbed whatever was next to me. Oh, we see them. There's 3 of them. Let's move a little bit. Maybe we could kill one here? Yes, because he was frosted, he took massive damage. You know what? Let's heal right away. Get effective pull before engaging. I think that would land. Yes. Not extend. And there's a blue in there. You know what? Still, I'll do the honors. We can be stuck here. Ah, that's just unlucky, man. Even if they suck real bad, like that's just fucking unlucky. We couldn't escape after that. God, it sucks to die to shit players like that. Players. insane lag. I mean, this whole sequence started from a fucking laggy hit. Like, I got hit where like, they were not near me, and that started the chain from there. Because he turned off the tongue, it might take a while before we can reinvade. Or maybe call it quit, you know. He got his lucky kill, now he's happy. Yep, looks like it. Alright. All these shit players that pretend like they're playing the game and shit. Players. And they have high armor weapons, so you know what? Let's do this. Okay. Bro, what are we doing here? I swear I didn't pay these actors. Yeah, clearly like some sort of pro gamer there, you know? Professional gamer. How many language can you speak? I can speak French, English, and Chinese. But only on the weekend. players. Starting to play sloppy here. Yeah, if you're playing on PC, like, I don't really think there's a point of playing the vanilla game on PC. I think you should be playing some of the mods. I think the mods are better. If you're doing PvP, I mean. At least from the look of it. Like Seamless, you know, when I watch like Cleve or Golden Teacher or, you know, any of my friends who play on PC, it actually looks fun when they have this whole like 3v3 or 2v3 going on with invaders in the world with the player limit being higher. I think that's probably the biggest advantage that PC has. Like, you know, the population for the mod is fairly let's say it's significant enough to where the game feels, you know, organic enough for the experience to, at least it seems to be enjoyable. I don't think you do 1v1 request. To be honest, I do not give a shit about anyone, and so I find it more of a hassle. And, you know, maybe you're good, maybe I'm gonna have a good fight, or most likely you're bad because I've never heard of you. It's just how it goes. And so I don't think it's really worth my time. Like, if I want the 1v1, like, instead of 1v1ing random people, I'd rather 1v1 green, because, you know, 1v1ing green is basically, like, gonna be more fun than 1v1ing anyone, really. What the hell? Okay. Could be good. Oh, it's good. Like, you know, no offense to anyone, but usually, if no one's ever heard of you, probably not worth the 1v1. And, you know, I say that because, you know, barely, you know, the tryhard community in this game is just so small that, like, everyone knows who the good players are, so there's no surprises. But yeah, like you said, you know, like, you know, people snipe me all the time. If I get sniped over and over and I try to invade, like I'll start ditching the fights if you just like keep sniping my invasions over and over. But you know, like usually I'll fight like once or twice if people snipe me. Okay, ah! You know what? Let's try a respawn. Why not? Well, let's just say similar situation. Oh. The host found a way to make it easier. And you know, like, don't get me wrong, like, this is nothing against like anyone in particular when I say that. It's nothing against you when I say that. Usually, like, we know all the good players. It's just what it is. And also, you know, it's not like you don't have any chance of winning either. Like, Elden Ring is not the most skillful game. And so, like, anything can happen, you know. There's no denying that. But usually people that want to duel like that, what they fail to understand is the duel goes both ways. If you want to fight me and I don't care about fighting you, then, you know, we're in a disagreement, basically. You're not gonna put the same effort into that fight as I will. It's just how it is. Usually that's not enough to matter, but that's the reality. You know, if it was Dark Souls 3, back in Dark Souls 3, I'd pretty much duel anyone. But I like the game, you know. Different story with this game. This game's not very good PvP-wise. I don't really see the appeal for people to want the 1v1 in the first place in this game, if I'm being quite honest. This guy was definitely NA. Yeah, exactly, Mungus. Yep, I'm scared of every scrub that comes along. There you go. There's no feeding you tonight, Mungus. Not getting anything. I'm not gonna pour cereal into that bowl of yours. You feed him? No, I abuse him. It's not the same thing. My water bowl has been empty for days. I'm just licking leftover moisture off the metal, bro. So stupid, man. Cereal is the go-to dish. See, I'm I can't even do it right. Just feed the man already. He deserved it. Give monkeys British food instead. Bro, what even is like considered British food? Fish and chips? Is that it? Can't be that bad, right? Beans on toast? I mean, it's not that bad. Bro, why did they both say beans on toast? I've never heard of that before. It's hell food? Bro, like, it can't be that bad, like... It's like another variation of, like, some chili. That's wild food, bro. It can't be that bad. It might be under. Might be under, but we can't go down because down there is a death trap. Yeah. Imagine cold chili first thing in the morning. I've done that before. Definitely done that before. Not the biggest deal. There's worse than that. I think they'll see me. They probably will. I think I'm too late. They're already, yeah, they're already down there. Went up for no reason. Yeah. Just took a big gamble for no good reason. I almost got scammed off of the jump. Oh, baby jump. Okay. Lucky me didn't follow. Whoa, good thing I aimed away there. Oh my god. Bro, what is this? I feel like, I don't know if I'm playing sloppy, if I'm not paying attention or what, but these guys almost deleted me too, like, I don't know. She's 100% right for not doing 1v1 with every random on stream. What's funny is the lengthy explanation with several underhanded insults thrown in. Yeah. You're absolutely right. It happens like fairly often. I just get annoyed by it. I find it quite annoying. find it quite annoying. I feel like I always need to explain it every time. And also, like, yeah, like it's not as much as like insult as it is, you know, like just being honest. Like, you're just sensitive, really. Like, I wasn't meaning to insult. I'm just like completely blunt and unfiltered there. Like, it's just that you don't like the way I'm saying it, but that's a you problem as well. Obviously, though, I could say it in a nicer way. You know, I could put on my little white gloves and, you know, take you by the feelings. And but you must be such a good player. This would have been such a nice experience, but you know, I'm not feeling right now. I'm sick. Oh, I'm so sick. Maybe we could 1v1 some other time. Whoever said that, just fucking show up somewhere. I'll do your 1v1. Like, you guys are starting to annoy me now. I don't give a shit. Like, I'll 1v1 anyone. I don't care. It is a waste of time, but I don't care at this point. The argument has been going on for too long. Like, now I feel like I have to prove you guys wrong. I don't even know if the guy's still there. It doesn't look like he is, otherwise we would have said something. Elden Ring is not killful. Anything could happen, which implied that if a random beat him, it would not be of skill. But that's true, though. That's absolutely true. Like, you can't come here and tell me with a straight face that if a random beats me, it's from skill. Like, it's dick to say that, but it's absolutely the truth. Like, you know, if I 1v1 this host and he kills me somehow, it's not because he's good. Like, it's just the game is broken and has a bunch of broken stuff. Like, I don't know what's so hard to understand there. Like stop swimming, dude. Like, it's just the reality. Like, if I die to Green, you know, like, Green is an actual good player. Like, I can die to good players because the good players played well. That's a different story, but, you know, fighting Green, I actually like fighting Green because I feel like I'm fighting the best of the best when I fight Green. And so, like, I actually need to use my brain and play as best as I can, even though the game is not the most skillful. You know, whatever skill that there is in this game, because there's still skill, you definitely feel it when you fight someone of high caliber. What does 1v1 even prove? Oh, people like to compare each other's dick in this game, which that's why I said that I don't care, but whoa, maybe not. Take my input there, and got a backstab that was not intentional after the input Ethan. Yeah, it's always the YouTube, right, guys? It's always the low IQ YouTube chat. Always like that. Not all of them are like that, but it's always from YouTube. Alright, guys, I don't have time for low intelligence stuff. Oh, wow, like someone banned him before I could. That's... Thank you, whoever did that. I appreciate that. No more YouTube channel and stream is the best choice you could have made. Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, usually the YouTube chat stuff is usually not that smart. There's, like, you know, don't get me wrong, there's a few people on YouTube that are great. Like, Baldwin is here often. He's very pleasant. You know, like, you know, when I say YouTube, obviously, it's not everyone. It's just that we rarely get people like that on Twitch because, you know, Twitch is more, like, closed off. Like, if you want the chat on Twitch, like, you need to be following for, like, 6 months, so... Or to have a phone number linked to your account, meaning that you're not going to be on an alt account. So... that already weeds out, like, any bad actor that just keeps making accounts over and over. Not just YouTube chat, but it's always YouTube chat. Like, Dress is another example, like, you know, it's always being chill and everything. You know, like, I know I shouldn't really give this too much attention, but sometimes it's just the turn it takes. It is what it is. I missed that. Alright, let's reset that, kill him. Oh wow, the latent double roll. Oh, little skippy there. But guys, you know what it is, right? Like, it's always... people that are in bad fate will just... it doesn't really matter what you say. They'll find a way to twist things and, you know, to turn things into a way that... that doesn't really tell the whole story. Let's just put it that way. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Chirko. You're absolutely right. Oh. 20 players, one guy. I don't even know if the guy's down there. Guess we're gonna find out. I don't think he is. Is this? I think this only goes this way. Unless I'm confusing the area. Like here, the indicator seems to point like this way, but the door is this way, I think. Unless I'm misremembering. It must be this way then. I just saw it. I guess it is this way. Alright, well. Hey! Guess I made a mistake. It actually ate my input, so I didn't get I didn't get the BS punish, or didn't get punished for my attempt, I mean. the Phantom is just letting me fight. Actually win that. Oh, he's not letting me fight. Alright, you shit player, let's do this. He actually saved them so badly. Oh, I ate my input. Good thing it didn't hit me. There you go. Shit player goes down. Yo, Roach, thanks for the membership. Really appreciate that, man. That's very kind of you. What new game are you playing besides Tarnished? Quite frankly, I'm looking forward to the next update for Fatekeeper. I liked Fatekeeper so much that I'm excited for whatever new content they're gonna have. I really enjoyed that game. I felt like it was like very refreshing. Combat was very fun too. Looks like what Bethesda should have been. Honestly, if Bethesda can pull this off, like what Fatekeeper did, but you know, with like the Bethesda, let's say, systems and, you know, the whole open world around it and everything, that would be quite amazing. I mean, the combat, the visuals, the level design for Fatekeeper, everything was just so good. So good. Puts a lot of AAA games to shame. And it was new too, like it felt very unique on top of that. Very, very unique. Even the sound design like was super solid, and they used like the same sound design for nearly every enemy. There wasn't that much enemy variety, and yet it was still compelling. I really enjoyed it. We always have to keep in mind though, like, more often than not, it's about the gameplay. That's a frame trap. Can't do anything there, unfortunately. Just frame trap between the spell and the scrub. Also, we didn't kill the Phantom because I didn't have my my sleep talisman equipped. See, like, we probably would have had a much better chance at winning that if we just had this from the get-go. Because this would have given us enough damage to kill the first guy, and then, you know... Maybe that wouldn't mattered. Maybe we still would have died, but, you know, 2v1's easier than 3v1. But, it is what it is. It is what it is. Would've, could've, should've. Any thoughts on Mistfall? I'm intrigued by it. I'm interested, but at the same time, I feel like the game's gonna last a month. And I don't think the game is gonna have a long, I don't think it's gonna be there for a long time. I just don't. I feel like it's gonna be like another game that's gonna die quickly. And also, the more I look at it, the more I feel like, you know, like I watch a lot of PvP vids of it, and it seems like, you know, like you get like 2 hits in, and then it's like you need some sort of like range attack to keep the action going, and like depending on the class, either it's a projectile, either it's a quote-unquote melee attack, but that melee attack basically has like spell range, really, or it's like some sort of like grab hook. It doesn't feel like you can put sustained pressure on people as much as you can in Souls. So also the neutral doesn't really feel like it has as much spacing either. So I mean, it's definitely, like, don't get me wrong, like I'm saying this not that it's all necessarily bad, but the combat certainly does not look FromSoft, for sure. And I'm not sure at first glance if I'm interested or not. Like, I'm skeptical of what I'm seeing, but you know, it's different and I haven't played it, and god damn it, my monitor just turned off. I don't know if I'm down or if I'm still up. Oh no, I'm down. Never mind. My monitor turned off as soon as I was about to jump. Hopefully it doesn't happen again in the invasion. Uh-oh. It's just bad timing. That's unlucky for him. Have you beat the Elden Ring DLC more than once? Yes. Did I beat it by myself more than once? I don't think so. I think we did like the DLC on the first run, and then after that, it was the Nintendoodoo with viewers where we're fighting everything Nintendoodoo, where every single boss is like a massive hit sponge. That was a lot of fun though. That blind leap of faith that my monitor wants me to do, for real though, like it actually happened, like like right before I was about to jump. Nintendoodoo co-op was the most fun. Putrescent Knight was hilarious. Honestly, my favorite fight was the sunflower. Like the sunflower fight, you know, like the sunflower fight, it's, you know, like what, the sunflower? Like that's not a hard boss. Well, apparently at Nintendoodoo, that thing is so tanky. So tanky that it's not even worth like trying to hit it. And what was funny is like we ended up like strategizing around it, and what it devolved into was every single person devolved into a fingerprint with a triple shot crossbow just to keep hitting that thing from a distance. That's what I like about these no Skadoodoo runs. It's so hard that it makes people like try to find like the cheesiest way to have a chance of beating the massive health bar. That was great. Yeah, the sunflower was memorable. It was just so damn tanky. Like the whole squad was just like trying to play it as safe as possible, because you know, if this thing hit you, it one-shot you, and if you tried to hit it with melee, like you did nothing. And so it made just more sense to just triple shot with a spread, with a, not a spread crossbow, with a triple shot crossbow, than to try to attempt to do anything else. Alright guys, we're gonna do a leap of faith there. That's basically like the equivalent of suicide in Elden Ring, going in there, but let's give it... Oh. This is like a death trap. No Skadoodoo will always be your default. Yeah, same here. Like, I don't mind playing the DLC the first time with like all the Skadoodoo, and like I want to experience the DLC for my first run the way it was like sort of intended to be played. Like, okay, you try your best to gather all the stuff that you're supposed to gather for all the fights. You put all your chances on your side. Granted, I still played the whole DLC at like 100 to 125. Which, quite frankly, I don't know a lot of people who did. Like, most people, like, played the DLC at 150 or above. But I never really felt the need that you needed more levels to do that. It's, you know, the higher you level up, the easier the game gets. It's really nothing else to it. But yeah, once you've beaten the DLC once, I think it's fun to do no Skadoodoo. I think casuals are more like 200 to 250 for the DLC. Yeah, that's what I think so. I think you're right. Stormblade works pretty good against the Sunflower. Now, the thing with the Sunflower at no Skadoodoo is like, you cannot damage it. Like, anything you do barely does damage. The only thing you can do is status. Like, on a no Skadoodoo like that, with 3 players in the world, not when you're solo. When you're solo, you still do damage, but when you have 3 players in the world, you know, the damage modifier for the game is different. And bosses are more tanky the more players are in the world. And so when you have 3 players summoned plus no Skadoodoo, the boss are uber tanky, and anything that's not a status weapon is not even worth it. And so usually what happens is, you know, like, we pull out our crossbows, and then, you know, first 3 bolts are going to be like the rot, and then the bolts after that are going to be poison, and then the bolts after that are going to be like frost, and then the bolts after that are going to be like bleed. And so we, like, what we were doing, what everyone was doing, we were just cycling through our bolts, sorry, and we didn't have enough bolts to kill it. That's the thing, like, you cycle through every single bolt you have in your inventory when doing that. And so that's why it was so much fun. It's that, like, you have to think about it, because the thing is so damn tanky that nothing that you normally do really puts a dent on it. So you have to go through status, and like, okay, like, you could, let's say you could put on, like, I don't know, like, you could put on, you know, the Raptor Talon maybe, and try to bleed at close range, but it's not sustainable, because you're gonna be there for, like, you know, like a good 20 minutes trying to dodge, like, the boss attack. Like, you're gonna be sitting there for 20 minutes where you make one mistake. Maybe the boss switches target, changes his timing, and then you're dead. Like, even for, like, let's say these speedrunners that memorize bosses, like, you cannot account for a boss moveset once there are multiple people fighting it, because you don't actually know if the boss is going to target your friend, and that might actually change, like, the timing of an attack, or the direct, because it changes the direction of the attack. So what I'm trying to say here is, if you try to go melee, there's a good chance you're just going to get one shot, and you're not going to be there to tell the story. You can do it, don't get me wrong, it's possible. But as far as the natural evolution of how you fight these, it basically eventually evolved into fingerprint triple shot crossbow. That's what I'm trying to say. But when I say not enough bolts for 3 people, I don't mean like you know, like if you look at your inventory, like, oh, actually need to go here. You know, I don't mean like every single bolts that are there, but I mean, you're going to be cycling through like your rot ones, you're going to be cycling through like your bleed one, and you're going to empty all your status ones basically, and at the end, like, you're going to be left with like the physical ones that barely do anything. Which is why you sort of have to optimize the fight with, like, always try to not waste the rot ones. Only use it when the boss is not rotted, obviously. But you need to cycle them intelligently, like, ideally frosting the boss first as well. They're in sync. Oh my god, they keep on saving each other, bro. Come on, game. Fucking input eating again. Stam for the fucking running. Because that works. I don't want to sleep him there because he's gonna fall on his butt. You don't want that. Wait. He should have been slept with his helmet by now. I'm not sure why he's not. Just get slept already. You ever do permadeath run for Souls games? Well, I mean, I do deathless streams. You know, that's my equivalent of permadeath. Like, I don't care about the PvE enough to do that. I did it with Skyrim because I like Skyrim PvE enough to do that, but I don't like Souls game enough to try that. Like PvE wise, I mean. Almost did the same mistake. We want that permanent Saint Trina. The Emerald Nuzlocke for Christmas. Quite frankly, I don't think a lot of people would watch that, but I've never done something like that, but it could be fun, who knows? Could be funny. I'd probably do it on an emulator though, just to have the ability to fast forward the game. How many players? 3 players. Interesting. Okay. Did not get slept. Should have been slept there. Need some form of cover. Let's try to play around this. Nice. Shit on. Nice. PvE actually being very helpful for once. Eight v one, you mean 7v1? Yeah, Duskblood is supposed to be 8 players. The Phantom stole the elevator? Yes, he did. That's actually pretty funny. in gameplay. Fucked up there. Yeah, that's right. There are jetpacks in freaking Duskblood, man. I wonder if dude, you know what I think is gonna happen? I think Duskblood is gonna have the sort of movement Night Rain has. I think Duskblood is gonna be closer to Night Rain than it is to Elden Ring. That's my wild guess. Yeah, I just had an epiphany. I think it's gonna be Night Rain PvP type. Night Rain's degenerate as dodges. I mean, FromSoft doesn't know how to make good Souls PvP, it seems, so that wouldn't surprise me. I have very little hopes for Duskblood. Very little. I see it as almost guaranteed failure. Has a halberd. Do I have a halberd here? I not have it. I don't have it. Wait, no, I should have one. Okay. Either low IQ. The fuck that was about. I didn't even do anything. He just started getting angry for no reason. I was actually looking for a halberd to mirror him in my inventory, and they just got randomly salty and started attacking. Fucking idiots. The fact that he bowed twice was really funny. Yeah, I think what happened is like he was looking for a bow to start fighting. And since he didn't get it, they started ganking. But since they suck, it didn't even matter. I'd rather have it this way. Kill the Redditors. Both at the same time. I didn't hit that? Oh, almost. Think of all the honorable 1v1 you could have had if you bowed at the start of every invasion. I mean, it would make for some pretty boring content. Yeah, I know you're joking, Odium. Yeah, I mean, I know you're joking. Just answering like you're not, but I know you are. Yeah, boy. Alright, guys, I wasn't looking at the time, though. My girlfriend works tomorrow. I'm gonna stop here. I was doing a lot of noise and I didn't realize. Alright, guys, I'm gonna end it here, actually. Like, she's in bed right now, but the lights are still open. I'm gonna close stream right now. Alright, guys, well, thanks everyone for coming by the stream again. Really appreciate. And see you guys next stream, hopefully. Maybe, you know, we're gonna get some news. I guess in 3 days we got the result for the Duskblood network test, so I'll know if I'll be partaking in it. We'll see. Hopefully I will. Alright, guys, thanks everyone for coming by the stream. Thanks for thanks to Roach on YouTube. Really appreciate it, man. And thank you guys for making these streams bearable. And thanks to argue on my behalf against the people that annoy me sometimes. Thank you guys. Alright. Alright. Let's raid someone. I'm gonna call it here. Alright, let's raid Owen. Let's do that.